Hello, everybody. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Wood. I'm so glad you could jump up on my wood. It's gonna be a throbbing. Who are we kidding? I'm old, Red Eyes old, and Frank's just empty. It's gonna be a fucking penis lip show. Anyways, hello, everyone.
We need Viagra. Send money quick.
Yeah, welcome to Frank from the Geek Room, and also my buddy Red Eyes joining us today. So how you two doing?
Oh, I'm alive, 2 feet and a heartbeat.
That's actually pretty good. I like that. Is that an Australian thing?
Yeah, that's an Aussie saying. It's basically it's nice to speak for. I feel like shit, but there's no point whinging about it because no one's going to give a flying fuck.
Yeah. That's the thing. People say over here all the time. You know, like I can't complain, and I always say, "Well, I can," but nobody can listen to it. That's the thing. That's the thing people say over here all the time.
Yeah.
But anyways, I can't complain. I'm a good complainer. I really am. But anyways, couple of announcements. I kind of put my foot in the mouth a while back when I said I was going to do a post show every day because I didn't take in a couple of things in consideration. And what I'm talking about is my legs. That's the couple of things. I have a lot of issues with my legs. So post shows, can't really do them. I'm thinking about doing a Patreon only show for the same amount that's paid for the post shows. $3 a month every week doing a Patreon show. Or Red Eye made a suggestion. We may do this. I am cutting the show to an hour and a half. Maybe I can do that. And then, or cut it. He wants to cut it down to an hour and then do a Patreon only after show. But we'll see. I'm still thinking mainly hour and a half regular, hour and a half to 2 hours regular show, and then a private show every week. We'll see. I'll let you guys know in the next couple of days. Also, we're currently going through the 28 days of Pimpmunk. If you know what the 28 days of Pimpmunk is, it's my birthday's on the 28th, and for 28 days, you click on the wish list in the link below and buy me gifts. Yeah. And it looks like we ain't got nobody fucking watching, but that's all right. I don't know. YouTube's a piece of shit. I guess that's it for announcements, though. What's up, Red?
I've just been watching YouTube self-destruct and kill off its most successful live streamers one by one, and the Ralph retort is now down.
Really?
But they're not fucking out. Yeah, they poleaxed the Ralph retort. 26,000 now. Dear Wall Street Journal, why do you hate kids with cancer? This fucking journalist has badgered this journo from the Wall Street Journal has seen the Ralph retort and gone, alt-right, must destroy. They did a charity stream, raised $26,000 for a kids' cancer charity. Mm-hmm. And this journo's gone and basically gone, oh, these guys are blah, 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 Nazi. And the fucking charity's refunding all of the donations because they don't want to be associated with the alt-right. It's like, dear Wall Street Journal, you better come up with a check for 26. Actually, fuck you guys. $52,000 now, double it, and give it to that charity, or you are the biggest pieces of shit on the face of the planet right now. Yeah, and that's just my humble opinion. But seriously, the Wall Street Journal should go and take a very long walk off a very short pier into shark-infested waters.
Yeah,
they disgust me.
And this fundraiser, what the fuck's wrong with them, man? Seriously,
well, take the money, fuck it.
Well, I understand their stance. It's like if you are seen to associate with anyone that's too far right-leaning that may be considered alt-right, you're going to get a real bad fucking name real quick, sadly, in today's environment. So they've panicked, and it's a knee-jerk reaction and said, right, we'll refund the money. We don't want to be associated with anti-Semites and white nationalists and racists, which... If you know how the internet works, most of the 99.9% of the shit you see in that is trolling. It's 4chan style, say the most outrageous thing you can get away with just for shits and giggles. So the guy on the stream has to read it out.
Yeah.
It's really sad. And meanwhile, Trump talked about, what was it, a week or two ago? He mentioned something about he wants to get rid of term limits. It's like, and no one in America panicked. It's like, wasn't the whole country formed on the basis of getting away from monarchies and these sorts of fucking systems where people stay in power their entire lives and hand it off to their family? That was the whole idea of America in the fucking first place. Trump says we should get rid of term limits, and no one panics.
Oh, I panic. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, well, I'm glad someone fucking was paying attention, because it doesn't seem like too many other people in America gave a flying fuck. When I heard that, my jaw hit the floor. I went, oh, this is not going to end well for Trump. And there was not a blip on the radar, and I've talked to Landon to it. I was blown away that not every American Republican and Democrat turned around and just said, what did you just fucking say, Mr. President? Like, America should have just all stopped and gone, what did he just say?
You hope that, but
it's funny. I mean, this dude can say and do so much shit, and people just, I don't know what it is about Trump. He's not that fucking charming. I don't know what it is.
But no, to me, this is like quite a serious thing, because America was founded on the basis, let's get away from these European fucking monarchies that just basically rule over us with an iron fist. And be rulers of our own destiny, and let the people rule the people, for the people, by the people, whatever the saying is. And Trump says, let's get rid of the safety mechanism that prevents these fucking people from taking over and their rich families from ruling for generations. He says, yeah, we should get rid of that safety mechanism because I've got enough money to start kick this shit off. Now, is he going to get any traction with it? I don't know, but I was blown away that Republicans and Democrats just didn't turn around and go, what the fuck did he just say? Unite. It blew my mind. It's like that was the one thing you guys could have come together on and gone, we're not having you as our dictator and emperor for the next fucking 30 years until your son takes over. Get fucked.
I think it's to the point now no one is surprised by what he's going to say. So it doesn't faze them. Yeah. It's not like I don't think it's going to gain any traction. I don't think like, because if he tries to do something, then I think people will be like, no, fuck you. But people are just like, okay, you said a crazy thing today. What's new?
And we expect it, and that's what's bad.
Yeah. But the thing about this specific comment is, it doesn't matter if you're on the fucking GOP or you're a fucking libertarian or whatever the fuck you are. If you're an American and you believe in why America was founded for the reason that it was fucking founded, to my understanding, is you should all have stopped and gone, everyone should have stopped, put down tools, and just collectively looked at the president and said, what the fuck did you just say, sir? Did you just suggest that we give you an opportunity to be the emperor of this country? How's it get fucked down,
But it's crazy, man. I know the thing, man. I know it is serious. You're right. It's fucking serious, but it's so comical.
Yeah, and I think that you've just highlighted the big problem. Trump has said so many fucking crazy fucking things, and he's now basically the Iranians today have gone, seeing that the Americans have basically wiped their ass with this fucking agreement we had, we're going to be selling our oil to whoever the fuck we like, and we dare America to stop us. It's like, oh shit, it's fucking on with Iran now, really? Fuck.
It's crazy. It's fucking nuts. It's nuts, man. It really is.
But
it's out there, stupid.
It's smoke and mirrors for what's coming up, because he's trying to take the heat off himself domestically for the midterms, I do believe.
Yeah. And you know what's scary? Here's what's scary. I honestly believe this is going to... If people don't see us going to war pretty soon, they're fucking nuts. Trump has... I honestly believe Trump's got in his head that he's going to be president forever. He honestly thinks he's going to be president longer than... he's supposed to be president.
Now, a quick question for anyone in chat as well. Now, if I understand it correctly, during times of war, the president at the time, with congressional approval, can suspend elections at times of war. So
I think that used to be a thing, but I'm not sure if it still is. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I don't know if that's really a thing now.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. It may be.
I'm not sure, because I do believe that, I think that happened during World War II. I'm not, but I could very well be wrong. And if I am wrong, someone in chat, please set me straight, and I'll have a look after the show to find out.
Yeah, honestly, I should know the answer to that, but I'm an idiot. So
yeah, so Trump's just been the gift that just keeps on giving it. And meanwhile, the the other one that I've found extraordinary is the fucking massive amount of people in this group that are slowly walking towards the American border, and Trump's announced, 15,000 troops mobilized to the fucking border. It's like, what the fuck?
Exactly. Oh, I'm going to tell you what. I would let her kill me. I would.
Oh, yeah, I must admit, that was one of my favorite episodes of the show ever.
You seen the Halloween episode, right?
Yeah, so there's a very specific moment I remembered when she stood up for a second. I just went, hallelujah, and I'll just leave it at that.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm sorry, Medusa. I'm sorry.
Did you like my costume?
Yes, I just saw you and went, you are a disgusting man.
I didn't tell the girls what I was dressed up as because I had the camera cut off. See, this is how fucking dickish I am. I had a panel, nothing but girls, and I dressed up as a period. It was awesome. And they loved it, man. They fucking loved it. Medusa, she started applauding me when she said it. She fucking loved it. But, of course, I did get an email from one person. That's disgusting. Well, fuck off.
It was supposed to be. Jesus Christ.
Exactly. It was actually a last minute, no money kind of decision.
Do you expect anything else?
Yeah.
I have no money, and I have these World War II surplus fucking sanitary napkins and some fucking tomato sauce. Let's do this.
I bought real shit too. I should have bought the dollar pads. I bought the fucking expensive tampons for some fucking reason. I don't know what to buy when it comes to. I'm not a fucking lady.
Should ask Pimpmunk, you silly bastard.
Yeah. Did TJ complain? Why would TJ? I don't know why I'm reading the chat now. Anyways, I dressed up as a period. It was fun. It was a fun show. But here's something I want to talk about. In your neck of the woods, Mr. Red Eye, 8 years ago, there was a 20-year-old kid. He was dared to eat a garden slug.
Oh.
He ate the garden slug, and then it paralyzed him. And now he died from the whole thing. It's not funny, but it is funny.
It is. It's called natural selection, and
it's crazy. I want to show you a garden. What this garden slug to me does look like a fucking pickle. It looks like a pickle.
Yep,
it does.
I've seen them many times. They are gross, slimy sons of bitches, and here's the thing. They're full of really nasty parasites. And if you're not an animal that's designed and evolved to eat those things, they're going to fuck you up with some really nasty shit.
Exactly.
And
this is... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I imagine the gentleman was infected by some very nasty parasites that just ruined his internal organs slowly but surely.
Yeah, it paralyzed his ass. I mean, immediately, I think, which is crazy.
I wonder if it was any toxins in the slug that did that, or whether it was a parasitic infection that just fucked him up. Because that's one thing in Australia, because we lived on a farm. It's like everything you got to what's called drenching them or worming them, and when you live on the coast, you got to worm everything twice as often as what the fucking recommended product says, or your livestock gets riddled with worms and dies a horrible death. And parasites bad, and slugs apparently full of the little fucking things. Yeah.
Look, I don't laugh, but I want to put it out there. I didn't laugh because I thought the guy died or whatever. But like kind of like what Red Eye said, natural selection. I mean, if you do stupid shit, you got to expect stupid shit to happen.
Yeah, look, you're in Australia. Here's the deal. You eat stuff that comes from the corner shop and restaurants, or if you see a mammal eating it, you probably will be able to get away with it. The best tip, if you're out in the bush and you just eat what the Aboriginals eat, get a book on bush tucker, do a little bit of reading before you get lost in the bush, because then you'll know at least how to dig up a fucking witchetty grub and survive without killing yourself.
Have you ever did one of those retreat thingies in the bush?
Oh, yeah, I've been out plenty of camping trips and stayed out in the hardcore bush, and fuck, we've come across everything from snakes, spiders, massive wasp nests that weren't just nests, they were like small communities that we went up this beautiful waterfall and we're walking in behind the waterfall and we see this massive paper wasp nest. We didn't recognize it at first because it was so big. We thought it was a log. Nah, it was a hive and we pissed it off.
Yeah, pissed it off. Oh God. Yeah, I've heard, that's not a place to fuck around with. Here in America, there's some neighborhoods you don't go to.
All right. Here's something that's been happening in the last last month. Now, what are the odds of lightning striking in the same place twice? Now, that's just a saying. We know it actually strikes hundreds of times.
Yeah.
What are the chances of sharks attacking in the same place, not once?
Yeah.
Not twice. 3 times within a month. Same fucking beach. People are being fucking mauled by sharks. This is a really new thing. It's like we see the odd attack sporadically spread out around our entire coastline. 3 fucking attacks at the same goddamn spot at the same beach in the last month.
Sounds like it's where the sharks are starting to live.
Yeah.
Something's upsetting the fucking balance because they don't usually go in and try and chew on humans because they're so well fed because it's the Great Barrier Reef. But
yeah,
what's bringing these sharks in close enough to where the humans are swimming around and going, yung, 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 yung.
Do you have an idea what might be bringing them in?
I really don't. Other than a massive change in the ecosystem that's upset the balance of food, and we've had coral bleaching events, and
that makes sense.
Asian longline fishing boats that go out there, and if you've ever seen a longline fishing boat, you'll be horrified at what those things do. And there's also Western boats that are more like floating fucking fish factories.
Yeah.
That do this drag fishing, and the nets on them are just boggle your mind at how big they are, and they are indiscriminate at what they drag up. They don't ask the fish, "Oh, are you one of the fish we're after?" No, fucking grab.
Yeah.
Fuck off my boat.
Well, here's my question. My next question is why people keep going to the same beach.
Yeah, exactly. Like, all right,
it's
3 people have been shark. Have been bit. Let's go to this beach.
What are the odds that's the thing, though? Statistically, this shouldn't be fucking happening.
But it is.
Well, it is now. Third one, so I'm pretty sure people are going to be staying the fuck out of the water at that beach from now on.
I wouldn't be going swimming there. Fuck you.
And someone's going to be going, what are the odds that I'll be the 4th person swim, and then they just start hearing.
End up looking like my daddy. No,
oh god!
Oh, that
was cold. That was cold, boss. Cold, nice.
I wonder that I do this all the time. I run there. What the fuck happened to your leg?
He's going like, fuck off.
He does exactly what he says. Anyways,
best pirate suit for the fucking International Talk Like a Pirate Day next year. I'm going to be so disappointed in you, boss.
Yeah. I tell you what, next year on the National Talk Like a Pirate, I'm going to dress up as a pirate.
Fucking A.
Anyways, y'all know who Floyd Mayweather is, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, he's decided he's going to face a kickboxer in the Japanese fighting league.
Okay, question. Are they boxing or are they kickboxing?
I don't know. The boxing star announced in a press conference that he'll participate in a fight against kickboxer Tenshin Nasaka, whatever that fucking name is, in a Rinzine Fighting Federation event on December 31st in Japan. So I don't know what that is.
If the kickboxer's allowed to use his legs,
oh, he'll fuck him up.
That dude's going to get his ass fucking handed to him and knock the fuck out with a roundhouse kick to the fucking side of his head, and he's not even going to see it coming.
That's what I was asking. Is the other guy really tall? Because if I know Floyd Mayweather's pretty short, and it's not going to be too hard to roundhouse kick his ass and win.
Yeah. Well, that's like if if he'd have fought Conor McGregor in an MMA fight, it would have been over in like seconds.
Conor McGregor will fuck him up.
Yeah, and it definitely if he fought that guy who beat Conor McGregor's ass.
That fucking guy brutalized the fuck out of him like during the fight, and then after the fight, fucking
that shit was crazy.
Around a bit more. It's like, dang.
That whole thing just, I mean, Okay, look, we all know that what this is why the UFC is so successful. They took a page out of professional wrestling's book, right? They do the storylines, they get the fighters to talk shit, and then it's a real fight. However, people like this guy that's a Beeb guy, he's not the type to talk the shit and run his mouth and like Conor McGregor. Well, he took this shit serious when Conor McGregor was running his mouth. Conor McGregor was just trying to get fucking views for the pay-per-view. That's what Conor McGregor does. And so this guy was like, no, I'm finna fuck you up.
He fucked him up.
What nationality is that guy? Because is he Russian or something?
Oh, he's actually,
he's Russian.
he lives in Russia. His nationality is like Islamic. He's like, his name's Habib.
So well, it could be Chechen or something like that from that region, because that's if you know anything about that area, it's kind of like the Middle East for Russia, and there's lots of Islamic people there that the government like to blow up things now. And from what I understood, Colin was talking shit about his
dad,
his faith and his mum, and it's like, and what do you get from a true believer in the faith of the Islam? It's like, oh, look out, you put shit on my faith. I want to kill you now for realsies. It's like, oh, God, here we go.
See, here's the thing. And I got to thinking about this a lot after this. It really brings up the talk about Islam, the religion, because it's like, he after Habib did what he did, he said, you can't talk about my religion. You can't talk about my religion. That's the problem with Muslims. I'm sorry, but if you talk about their religion, they get violent.
Yeah, it's okay for them to come from the fall of Western fucking society completely. But how dare we point out some, things that we might find a bit, how you going? The Prophet Muhammad and his wives. We won't go into any detail because I don't want to start any shit. The fiery fucking the winged horse that he flew off. It's like the talking fucking donkey from the goddamn Bible. It's like, please, let's not do this. But if you I can put shit on the Bible all day, every day, and I will give Christians full credit for this. I have been quite incredibly rude to some Christians about their beliefs. They've never called for my fucking head on a platter. They might like to punch me in the mouth, but at the end of the day, if they saw my house on fire, that helped me, and if I saw their house on fire, to help them. If I had a hardcore Islamic neighbor, and I actually had a neighbor that was from a certain country that was fucking hardcore, but he threw all that shit away.
They fucking bombed a newspaper organization because of a cartoon.
Yep.
Yeah.
They killed people in France. What was it? Charlie Hebdo, I think.
Yeah. Charlie Hebdo, yeah. Well, it's fucking insane.
Died because of a goddamn cartoon.
Yeah, how ridiculous that sounds. They bomb people because of a cartoon.
I'll tell you, draw my prophet.
If you say it out loud, it sounds really stupid.
Yeah, it does.
You kill people because of a cartoon.
Yep. And I don't want people to think I'm just being anti-Islamic and anti-Christian. It's like, look, I don't like Buddhist extremists that like to walk into crowds of people, pull out a fucking hand grenade, and then detonate the fucking thing.
Exactly. And everybody always talks about how Buddhists peaceful. Fuck that.
Yeah, bullshit.
There's Buddhists that carries Uzis.
Yeah, go and have a little bit of a read up on what's happening in some Asian countries where there are Buddhist extremists. Oh, yes, it's like the Buddha would not be too happy with these motherfuckers, because these people, they walk into crowded fucking places and detonate explosives. They don't give a shit. Now, when I was a kid, a Buddhist used to protest by walking up to the fucking front of the police station, pouring out a container of petrol, pouring it over themselves and lighting themselves on fucking fire.
Yeah. That's great.
Without hurting anyone else, they would sacrifice themselves to put a spotlight on a cause. But now it's like they want to make political change through acts of terrorism by blowing up crowds of people because they want their way and they're blowing up crowds of Muslims.
And we're not saying that there's no extreme Christians out there that don't do stupid shit. We're not saying that.
IRA.
Yeah, because there are extreme Christians. Don't get us wrong, we know that, but we're saying as a whole, if you look at it, it's the majority of Islam. It's way worse. It really is.
The potential for people to be a bit more touchy and get a bit more murdery about their belief it sort of goes up a bit when you start talking about Islam compared to Christianity.
But don't you hate when you talk about stuff like when you start talking about Islam, that was it. Well, Christians did this, but we're not talking about Christians at the moment. We're talking about Islam.
Yeah.
I hate when this fuckery, not that fuckery.
Yeah, we're talking about this fuckery at the moment. We have, and that's the thing. When people are coming, I'm a fucking atheist. I'm gonna talk about all of them. Just give me time. I'm gonna get to them.
Yeah, it's like I think religion is a silly concept we need to put to bed because humanity no longer needs it because we're learning more and more about the universe. Shit, we're starting to create particles of antimatter in the CERN laboratory so we can see how they interact with fucking gravity.
Yeah,
we're gonna start filling in the missing pieces to Einstein's little fucking bits of physics and maths, and we don't need archaic beliefs from 2,000 years ago guiding us into the fucking future at this point because it does nothing but harm. We need to be socially responsible, move forward, shed our violent ways, and try and better ourselves.
And and back to the kind of going full circle. No, that's fine. I'm glad we talked about that because man, Connor. He did make fun of it pretty hard. Like he was saying, "Assalamu alaikum."
That's why I love Connor. He's
a great shit talker, man.
He fucking goes through like he got his ass whooped.
Oh, he did.
But when he walked into that ring, he walked in like Vince fucking McMahon.
Yeah,
and all badass. Which made his ass beat a little bit better.
But I'm going to tell you something. He wants a rematch. Habib is not going to give him one. I honestly, and the people say, well, he got his ass. I honestly would not be shocked if he walks in there and whoop Habib's ass because Conor McGregor done it. He's done it. He got his ass whooped one time by what's his name? Diaz. Then goes in and beats Diaz's ass the second fight.
That's probably why Habib is not going to do it.
Yeah, just because the man got his ass whooped does not mean he's not still a badass. Conor McGregor, he's got hands of fucking stone, man. I mean, he really does.
Conor McGregor would kill me in a fight in about 3 seconds flat.
Yeah, me too. And I've talked about this before. You put me in the ring with Conor McGregor when I was in my 20s. In my 20s, I was a walking, talking fucker. I was. There ain't no doubt about it. I was a pretty bad dude in my 20s. He'd have beat my motherfucking ass. I mean, plain and simple. And I was a bad dude. Now I'm just old and broke down.
Oh man, seriously, I've watched some of those M&A, and yeah, Colin, all I want to know is how much did he get paid for that fight? Because win, lose or draw, he was getting paid, so he can go in there with the mindset, like you said, it's like I can go in here. You know what? I can even earn more money if I go in here and put up a good fight, but get licked. It's not a real big deal because that means I might get a second shot at this motherfucker and I'll get another big paycheck. It's like, you fucking beauty, mate. It's like, I can't fucking lose at this point. No matter what happens at this point, I'm getting paid. If I get an ass beaten, I might get another shot at getting another big check like this one. And it's like, fuck yeah. It's like, he's a fucking genius. And like you said, hand it up, talk shit. The other guy looked pretty sad, and I'm pretty sure that he's not going to get invited back to another MMA fight real soon because of the way he went in after the fight and did some shit, and his buddy sort of got into it as well. It's like, that's a bit.
He's already re-signed. I mean, they're going to let him fight again.
Yeah, but I think he'll be sanctioned in some way, shape, or form. I.e.,
he was fine.
His may have been slimmed down a fair margin. They said we'll be taking 50% of your pay because you acted like a cunt.
They took his whole pay.
Oh, did they? There you go.
Yeah. They took all of it.
So he's actually worse off now because he had a temper tantrum at the end of it and threw some punches after the bout. He lost his paycheck.
He lost. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, now you can look at. I do believe they took his whole purse, if I'm not mistaken. But they may have given him some back. I don't know, but I do believe they took it all. By the way, I see somebody asking, did his Streamlabs go through? I'll check that here in a little bit, buddy. At the end of the show, I'll read the tips and stuff at the end of the show. But appreciate it if already.
Love you.
Since we took a little lull here, I remember 28 days of Pimpmunk going on. What that means, this is the 4th annual 28 days of Pimpmunk. Every year in November for 28 days, you buy me gifts off my wish list link. And it's happened for 4 years now. Last year we did it for 40 days because I turned 40 last year, and Landon said do 40 days for 40 years. So I did that. But this year it's only 28 days. There was some gifts bought yesterday, about like 4 gifts bought yesterday. But I usually try to average out 28 gifts for the 28 days. So buy me a gift, you faggots. Oh, that's not a good way to do it.
Or a video game.
Yeah. Or just send PayPal money like some people do. But if you're going to send a gift to PayPal, make sure it's like a lot of money. Please. Somebody sent $100 the other day. Said, here's your birthday present. Oh, thank you. But anyways, as always, speaking of religion, and something I like to do, everybody knows I like to do, the church signs. I love doing church signs. So here we go. Here's the first one. It says, boo, this is as scary as we get.
Oh, you can get scarier.
Oh, is it a Catholic church? Because I beg to differ if it is.
I think some of these church signs are clever and cute. Like this one, the Bible zombie story. Come join.
Jesus wasn't a zombie. He was, what was it? A lich or a lech?
Something like that.
Yeah, he wasn't. He's not a zombie.
If the devil offers you a treat, it's a trick. See?
Oh, clever.
Love your neighbor, even if they're a Duke fan. See, there's some of these. I mean, you gotta give some of them are just having fun with these things. Some of them are, yeah. Catch up with Jesus. Let us praise and relish him. He loves me from my head to my toes.
That O's falling down.
We're in dad joke territory here.
Yeah, that is dad joke territory right there. And the O is falling down.
Pick up your buttholes, guys.
Oh, I got a story to tell you after this. Oh my God. Oh my God. Something bad happened this weekend. It's horrible. Anyways, Daddy, Southampton Baptist Net Sunday. What?
I'm now convinced that Alexis has got hold of that sign somehow. That's all Alexis. 100%. Shalom.
The First Baptist Church in America. Worship. I always get tickled with these First Baptist. Really? Are you the First Baptist Church? Anyway.
It's better than calling yourself, we're the 67th Baptist Church in this state. It's not really that impressive, really.
Some of these aren't really good today. Keep it 100. Okay. Boo, this got that we're okay. America, the donkey and the elephant won't help. We must turn back to the lamb. Okay, I get it. Because the donkey is the Democrat, elephant's the Republican. Okay. Swipe right.
I don't know.
It says swipe right. Love God. Fall for Jesus. He never leaves. Oh, it's a seasonal joke.
Dad joke.
It is a dad. For all you do, his blood's for you.
Oh,
that's unsanitary.
No.
Learn, pray, love, vote.
Yeah, sorry. Let's stop. Let's reverse back to that one. You just lost your tax exempt status. You're interfering in the political fucking process. Go fuck.
Dude, that shit is so ridiculous. I remember every time I went to church, man, during political season, the preacher be a prayer, vote for this one and that one. I'm like, you ain't probably doing that, homie.
Yeah, well, in Australia recently, it was fucking glorious. One of the worst Christian lobby groups out there constantly were doing it, and people just started recording the clips of it from wherever they were putting it and sending it to the relevant government authority. And then one day we read in the paper and all over the news, yeah, that Christian lobby group, they just totally lost their tax-exempt status. Guess what they did the very next day? Changed their name to a political lobbyist group and got on with their fucking job.
Yeah. Oh, look at this one.
Now that's sexy.
That's a little sexual, isn't it? Eat the devil's corn, choke on his cock.
I like these people. That's the sort of church I sort of drive past and go, you don't totally suck. You got a sense of humor.
Well, this one's all right. Jesus welcomes refugees, and we do too. Okay.
That's a nice town with nice people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's not bad. Don't wait for the hearse to take you to church.
Yeah,
okay.
nah.
Okay. Now I want to tell my story now, and this I'm warning, gross, very gross. Okay, I'm not. It is trigger warning. It's kind of gross, but anyways, I was constipated over the weekend, really bad, like extremely bad. I was hurting, sick. It was just horrible. Could not shit. Was drinking laxatives to try to shit. Drunk a lot of laxatives, actually, like a half a bottle of fucking milk of magnesia. Could not shit. So I had to take my finger with some Vaseline and poke it up my asshole. It was a wall of shit. A wall. I tapped on it. Tap. I started scraping at it. Scrape. Wouldn't that come out? Well, a little bit later, I went back to the bathroom, did the same thing, stuck my finger up my ass, tried to get it, and I felt it loose up a little bit. And a little bit came out. So I grabbed a hold of it, and I pulled it out my ass. And it was like a champagne cork, because remember, I drank all the laxatives. I was standing up too, by the way, and I pulled it, and all of a sudden the turd came out, but a whole bunch of spray came out afterwards, like a champagne bottle, pop chop, and shit went everywhere. I mean, it was on the wall, the tub, the toilet, the window. It was horrible. Looked like it was just bad. And I'm like, oh my God. But I felt so much better, right? But I ran in there and I had to get some towels and stuff. And my mom and everybody, well, what are you doing? Oh, I'm cleaning up shit. So yeah, I was a human champagne bottle, Red.
They walked in and just kind of did the daddy daycare thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Your ass became Krakatoa.
Yeah. Dude, it was horrible. I mean, look, I'd much rather have the shits than be constipated. Constipation hurts. But this was like nothing I've ever had before. I've never been constipated like this before. And it just wouldn't loosen up. It just would not do it. So I literally had to finger fuck myself to get it out.
That's frightening how much. Have you heard there's a YouTuber named Wings of Redemption? He does Twitch streaming and shit. And he tells his story. It's actually quite similar to yours, but it's got a really nasty twist at the end. Basically, he's constipated, does the same thing, drinks some milk with magnesia, and he goes to have a shit. But he says, just as he's shitting, the first big nugget of shit, it's nearly come out of his ass, and it somehow does a 90-degree turn and just wedges in his fucking, just right in his ass, so he can't. It just creates a total blockage. It's so bad that he had to call his mum in.
I almost did it.
Oh. Right? And his mum's had to basically whack on the fucking rubber glove and just start bashing a finger up his ass to mash the shit up to get the rest of it.
That's fun. My mom offered to do it. My mom offered to like, no, Mama, I ain't having you knuckle me. I just ain't gonna do that.
Okay, Wings of Redemption, dude. Just don't like. We're borderline. We're close, but we're not quite there. If you called your mum in or assistants, we're in Wings of Redemption.
I didn't go that far, but I swear to God, dude, I was hurting so bad, and I almost did. The thought crossed my mom. Mom, come stick your finger up my ass. It didn't happen. I'm so glad she didn't, because she would have got sprayed.
That's the test of love. It's like, Mama, you better put on a raincoat.
Put on a goddamn man. Have one of them little masks there with a wiper on it.
Fucking hazmat suit.
Yeah, dude, that's awful. It was, and I'm serious. I tapped it with my finger. It sounded like it was a wall. I think it wedged like his did. Honestly, on what you're saying. So.
If you did this, if you went, and then you heard back, you would. That's when you.
I would have ran. Oh hell! But
that gerbil's drowning. Hold on.
But dude, I swear, it was like
the other side of the crusted up bit just went back at you. That's when you start. You just go get an X-ray and an MRI in your guts, because you probably got an alien.
Yeah, and then a big ass fucking giant fucking bug up in my ass. I'm like, what's up, dog? Anyway, I'm calling this the pop the cork situation when I'm gone. Because that's what it really was. It was like popping a fucking cork. But I'm gonna tell you something. The relief afterwards was like, oh, I'm glad. I mean, shit. I was happy to clean up shit because it was. But then,
oh shit,
I realized I did something. I fucked my hemorrhoids. So now I had to go in there and push my hemorrhoids back up my ass.
God damn.
So it's a fucked up situation all the way around.
A lot of butt stuff.
Yeah, it's bad. When you start to get, by the way, when you start to get older, you get hemorrhoid issues, right?
Yeah.
Red, I know what I'm talking about, his old ass.
Butthole clusterfuck.
But I had one of the worst assholes this week in the world. I swear to God, my weekend was bad with my asshole. So yeah, I did a lot. Yeah, but I grabbed a hold of that turd though, and I pulled it out, and it sprayed.
Sounds like that there's a bit of a market for some like poop pliers, like design a pair of like devices that you can stick up your butt, but still grab hold of that first nugget and pull it out, and maybe it can set up like a little fucking umbrella or something so the poop doesn't spray everywhere. I don't know.
Yeah. Dude, it was bad. But talking about the pain, I was hurting so goddamn bad, and I was hurting, man. It was painful. And it makes you sick, you know. I was just, so I had a rough weekend. I was sick all weekend, but I was so glad I got it out. But now my asshole's so sore.
You should have done a poop abortion, got a clothes hanger, and just grab that shit up there and pull it out.
But this shit was like, it was pretty rough. And you know, because I drank so much milk of magnesia, it was all the duty juice was waiting. It was right behind the wall. It was like Mexicans, right? Behind the wall.
Oh no. We're extinct now. We're gonna get Ralph recorded straight off YouTube.
My asshole was Donald Trump. It built a wall. And perfect because he is an asshole. Anyways.
You know what you need next time? You just need one of those old school egg beaters and just fucking get up there and start cranking them.
Crank the motherfucker. Get a goddamn drill.
Holy shit.
Oh, but I thought of calling for Mama almost happened. I almost said, Mama, be prepared. But I'm glad I didn't, because I wouldn't have. I couldn't do it. I couldn't let my mom stick her finger up my ass. I just couldn't. And I know some people probably sitting there, why don't you stick your finger up you will one day when you're 40-something years old. You're gonna stick a finger up your ass, man.
You constipated, you're willing to do anything.
Yes.
There will come a point in your life when one day the poop will just not flow, and it will be days, and the worry will just start increasing, and you will consider doing things that you've never considered doing before just to get the poop out.
So what happened was, I've been saying kratom will constipate you, and I've been taking a lot of kratom because of the leg pain, and I forgot to take my stool softener, and boom, constipation. So if you do take kratom, make sure you take stool softener, or you're gonna have issues, especially if you're 40 and you're prone to constipation anyway. Like me, I'm prone to constipation.
Take that.
You know what you need? Instead of the tubes of silicone you can get with the applicator guns, just find, instead of a tube of silicone, you just need a really big tube of Vass, and with that extended long needle nose on it, just jam it right up there. A good squirt of fucking Vass just to get things cooking.
I got it right here. It's hydrophor ointment. That's what I got. And oh god, there's poop in there.
Yeah.
No, there's really not no poop in there. That's the jar I was using. Boy, I'll tell you, I probably over Vaselined it too because I was nervous. I don't like sticking my finger in my ass.
You know what you need next time, boss? Oh my God, I can't believe I'm so sorry I didn't pass on this cherry of a little bit of wisdom. Jilly juice, waterfalls, problem solved.
There you go.
Frank knows. Do you know about Jilly juice, Jeff? Old Jeff.
Yeah, I know who she is. I don't know that.
Have you watched the thing with Jeff and Dr. Phil where he confronts Jilly on the show? It's like Jeff's a magnificent bastard. It's like he actually made himself look utterly respectable, got on Dr. Phil's show and basically fucking KO'd this crazy bitch like on this show. It was magnificent. So to you, Mr. Olet, bravo, sir, for that one. Well fucking played. He bitch slapped her.
Here's something you'd be interested in, Red Eye. Spice Girls announce a reunion tour, man. Bet you're happy about that, aren't you?
I'm fucking overjoyed. And to be quite honest, I think Scary Spice is pretty fucking cute. And I'd basically sleep in the wet spot.
But tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
Yeah, well, I'd do a bit of naked horizontal folk dancing with that young lady because she's pretty fucking well built.
The Walking Dead's Rick Grimes will star in his own film trilogy. After his exit from the Walking Dead series, Andrew Lincoln will reprise his role as Rick Grimes in a series of live-action movies.
Ooh, I haven't even got to watch it yet. I got it all saved.
Yeah.
I'd just like to see him do 3 movies where he just does that meme with his son. Fucking yeah, just 2 hours of memes. That'll do me.
Dude, you know what wormhole I got into the last week or two? I have been watching the whole series of the reality show, The Survivor. I got into it, and I'm gonna tell you, I usually don't like reality. I don't know why I started watching this. I was bored, I guess. I got so addicted. I don't watch 37 seasons.
Damn.
I didn't realize they had that many seasons.
They've been going on for a lot. Wow.
They've been going on for like 17 years. Like 17 years, and they've done 37 seasons. And you know what? It is actually, it's a game, right? It's what it is. And that's what they talk about. It's actually really interesting how these people, what these people do to each other. How they lie to each other. And Connie is pretty cool.
I like Naked and Afraid.
I've never watched Naked and Afraid.
It's basically where they send 2 people out, a man and a woman, and they're butt ass naked, and they send them out into like different locations in the where parts of the world, and they have to survive for I think 21 days naked, and out in the cold and stuff like that. Pretty good show. Some of those people look good. Some of the people are like, oh shit. Oh.
Yeah, I've heard of it, just never watched it. But I sure the fuck been watching the hell out of some Survivor.
Yeah, Survivor's a good show.
It's pretty decent.
It kind of gets a bit Lord of the Flies for me, that shit. It's like, it's like everyone's really nice at the start, and then the first they have this is the sort of show where they eliminate people slowly but surely, people turn into utter cunts when they think, oh fuck, I've actually got a chance at the money, and they start scheming and plotting like fucking assholes.
One of my favorite moments was the group of girls got together, and they created a woman alliance, and they conned all these fucking dudes. They had one dude who had 2 immunity idols in his pant pocket. He could have, not voted himself. He could have stopped them from voting him out. But one of the girls told him to give him to her, and she would work it, and he did, and then they voted his ass out.
Oh.
Like,
I remember that
fucking idiot.
I remember that one guy that they found like a little source of water, like fresh water that they can actually drink, and that one guy bathed himself in it.
Yeah,
and pissed off everybody. Can't remember his name. Like,
there's one guy. Yeah, and then there's one little black chick. She got pissed off at everybody, so she took their rice and threw it in the fire. All their rice.
God damn.
Wow.
Fuck all y'all. Y'all ain't what eat.
So for the rest of that show, the rest of the fucking survivors were cannibals and they ate her.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. They do some crazy stuff. It's just interesting to see people. And you sit there and watch how they're lying to people, and you're sitting here like, you fucking idiot. How can you believe that? But when you're in a situation, it's hard. It's different, right?
It's different when you're in it, and
But
you think these people's got your back, and they don't.
You're going into this show, you know what the show's about. You know human psychology at some level if you're going into this show, or you are just a complete fucking moron. And let's just say if I was going onto this show and I had those 2 immunity idols, the power of the pussy would not have removed them from that.
I'd like to thank you. I wouldn't either.
No, I'm old enough now to go, that check, if I've got even a slight, I've got 2 immunity things, I've got a shot at that check. And I said, look, how much pussy can I get once I get that check in a really nice sports car and drive it down fucking Rabbit Surface Paradise? I said, I'm going to get way more pussy than this fucking island. It's like, fuck yeah.
Funny that you bring the age up, though, because here's the difference. None of the older guys that I watched in the show fell for that shit.
Yeah,
it was
at home, so
and none of the older guys would fall for that shit. So it's really funny that you bring it up, because there goes to show you the difference in a young man's thinking and an older man's thinking.
Yeah,
it's not working.
Those dollar signs will get me pussy, where the young dude's just going pussy, 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 pussy.
Yeah, but the older guy's thinking about paying his bills, paying, shit like that.
An ass later, once he's paid all his bills and bought the pizza and fucking relaxed in front of Netflix for a while, he's gone, yeah, I wouldn't mind a bit of roll in the hay with some young lass. Let's jump in the sports car that I bought with these winnings from that fucking show Survivor, and I'll go down and pick up. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, I love the ones where they brought back like past survivors. And I love those because the game got more interesting, because these people had already played it and already done it, so they would get really conniving. And because the other people already knew how the game was played, so you have to be really good to outsmart them, and so it was pretty good. It's probably, honestly, it took me years to watch this fucking thing. It really did. I never watched it before because I thought it'd be stupid. But after I sit down and watched it, and I watched it as a game, it's kind of like live Clue in a way, kind of, watching something like that. And it's really cool. It's actually an interesting experiment.
Oh, yeah. And the brutality of humans, it's like, I can just imagine them taking Survivor to the next level, where people aren't just eliminated from the island and taken off on a nice boat. It's like they're thrown off a goddamn cliff or thrown into a volcano. It's like a Colosseum like fucking shit here we're talking. But it just humans just they love to fucking get one over on each other. It's just in our nature. It's like we must fucking and
it got me thinking about the movie Running Man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see a remake of the Running Man, a reboot of Running Man. I really would. I think The Rock would be a great star for that movie. I really do, and I think somebody like, as far as the bad guy, the game show host, I don't really know. I don't know who could play that. Probably what's his name that played the 40-year-old virgin. For some reason, I thought of him.
Arnie. Get Arnie as the game show host.
Get who?
Get Arnold Schwarzenegger to do
well, that would actually be a kind of a twist, wouldn't it? Yeah, that'd be kind of funny.
It'd be a nice little homage. It's
yeah,
because if they're going to do that sort of thing, it's really nice. They did it with Doctor Who, and they had, for instance, right at the end, that one of the doctors who's really old now with really grey hair, he was a museum curator, Tom. Yeah, and it's like right at the end, you finally see Tom, and it's like I squeaked out loud when he came on, and they had this little moment with and it was like one of the most cool Doctor Who moments ever. And if they do that with Arnie and they do a remake of that movie with Arnie as the goat, I think it would work. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Are they good? The original host was the guy from Family Feud. I can't remember his name. So I was thinking maybe they could get Steve Harvey, the current host of Family Feud, to do. Yeah. But somebody in the chat room brought up a good point, Stan. Said, look at the dude who faked his family member having kids. There was a guy who actually faked his grandmother dying. And his name was Johnny Fairplay. He called himself Johnny Fairplay. And he told him his grandmother was dying or something to get to the and they kind of find out his grandmother died like many years ago or something like that.
Oh, so he's using the sympathy thing. So he's playing the girls like my grandma died. And they're like, baby.
There was one guy who went on there, told him that he talked about being through in Hurricane Katrina. His German Shepherd died and all this in the storm. And he talked about how he tried to pull him out of the water and everything. And then when he was talking to the camera, he said, I didn't even live in Louisiana. I'm from Texas. He's a multi-million-dollar oil guy from Texas.
Oh,
and he's
sick.
Yeah. So, he made up this whole Katrina story. It was funny as hell.
Those shows would be a lot more entertaining to me if they actually didn't put multi-millionaires on there. So, because just imagine how more intense it'd be if you got people that actually work for fucking minimum wage on there and give them a chance to fucking have a crack.
They try to put, they put like different mixtures of people. They put like rich people and poor people. Like the current season or one of the latest seasons, the Davids versus the Goliaths, was really successful, like powerful people against average, just regular people.
See, I made a mistake there. I underestimated the power of human greed, and rich people still want to get richer too. I apologize.
Well, there's a lot of famous people that play the game, like Jimmy Johnson from the Dallas Cowboys coach. He ended up playing. A couple of basketball players did. Actress from the back in the 80s. I can't remember. When played Blair on Facts of Life, she played it. It's saying they all want. They just. It wasn't, it was the fact that they wanted to play the game. That's what it was. It wasn't about the money for them. They just wanted to play the game.
I think in those instances they donated the money to charity, didn't they?
Probably some of them did. Most of them probably did. They just really wanted to play the game. The famous people did.
Yeah, they have a celebrity survivor out in Australia, and they just get all celebs from England and shit and bring them out here. And they actually had one that was within 100 kilometers of where I lived, out in the back, like west of where I live, and it's semi-tropical rainforest, and there's just so many critters out there, and it was just continuous screaming from the women on set.
The second season, which was the second season of Survivor, which I do believe is one of the most successful seasons, was in Australia. It was Survivor Outback. It was like I think it was like one of the most successful seasons too. It was, but there's, if you like reality TV, you don't or whatever. I don't really care for reality TV that much, but I find this to be interesting because it really shows you the human psyche. It really does. It's like how humans what they'll do to somebody else for money. Yeah. How far will they go to win $1 million? Really.
Yeah, and stick them in front of a fucking camera, and then do that to them, and watch the acts of bastardry just inflate exponentially, because it's like, ooh, I'm in front of a device that's recording me, and it's like the peacock effect kicks in, and the greed's kicking in. It's like this double whammy of fucking bastardries. All of these acts of bastardries will take place after this point. It's like. These show, it's just a cesspit of fucking.
And now I hear some people say, like, oh, they're not really suffering. They got all those camera people. Watch the show, and you can tell that these people are suffering, because you watch them from the beginning of the show, you can see how thick they are, and then watch them at the end of the show, how skinny they fucking are. They're not eating. They really are having to survive. They just got people that is eating following them around with cameras.
Yeah, they're not allowed to interfere whatsoever.
Yeah, the camera people, unless it's death, life or death situation, or injured or something like that, then that's when they interfere. But you can really watch how their body dwindles down. You can, because I had this thought that all they're in front of the camera, it's all fake. But then when I watched the first season, I seen how they really their bodies went from, like, there was one guy one chick, a black girl, she was thick when she got there. And at the end of the show, she was small.
Thicky.
Yeah. This isn't Bear Grylls sort of stuff. Now, I watched a really intriguing video about Bear Grylls, and there's a scene apparently where he hops across a fresh flow of lava. But then someone like our friend Landon, who works around and lives near lava, actually pointed out all the differences. And it turns out these guys were lighting up charcoal and dropping it down the cracks of this thing to get the glowing embers. Because lava doesn't give off smoke like charcoal does.
Yeah.
And it was showing how Bear Grylls faked this fucking whole scene. And it's like, Bear Grylls, he doesn't fucking live on the edge and survive. I've seen footage of him when they go off air. They pull out this big, massive platter of food, and he just sits there with the crew and starts digging into it. It's like half the time you see him in a desert, he's one sand dune away from his fucking 5-star luxury hotel.
Yeah.
Bear Grylls, he makes good, interesting shows, but he never walked over a fresh flow of lava in his fucking life, Bear. Come on, mate. Bullshit.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, a lot of those things are fake. But I honestly do believe that this show, and I think that's reason it's so successful and went on so long, is because you can watch and see how their bodies are losing weight and stuff, and how how their looks change, and see that they really are going through something.
Yeah, and I just want to say something about Bet. His show's incredibly entertaining. Just don't think that he's actually risking too much out there. He might do some stuff that looks risky, but I'm pretty sure the safety crew have got him hooked up in such a way that the worst thing that's going to happen to him is he might bump his head and get a bit of a boo-boo. And they'll take him back to the hotel and fucking patch him up and send him out the next day to film some more shit.
Yeah. If you don't know somebody's a survivor, watch Survivor Man, Les Stroud.
Yeah.
He's badass.
To the chat room, I want to say we're gonna go to about 11:30. Like I see, because from now on the show's gonna be like an hour and a half to 2 hours, and it's because of my legs right now. Because I'm trying to heal up. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm going through a stage in my life where I've got to heal my legs before I can do a lot of things. Like because that's one of the reasons I've cut the post show out for a little bit, and we're gonna do we're gonna do like private shows and stuff, because I've sat in one place for so long, my legs start to hurt, and so I have to move on. So that's the reason we're gonna go out and have. But you do need to know that the 28 days of Pimpmunk's going on. That means you go to my wish list in the link below and buy me a gift. Also tip, and Red Eye will suck your dick.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Wait, I'm gonna do what?
And Luna's in the chat room. I see she missed my champagne story.
Oh no!
Yeah, my champagne. And she said we missed you too, Corky. A Corky one's in the room. Speaking of corks, that's what my asshole was like. Yeah. Corky, you're on the clock, by the way. So is Luna, and so was Red Eye and Frank.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't care. Hey, I didn't ask you what you broke. But anyways, it's what time is it? I don't even know what time it is. 11:08. The show goes by real fast when we're talking a lot like we've been doing this morning. It do.
Oh, you missed a wonderful story about a poop fountain.
Yeah. I may tell it again, but not today.
Poopatoa.
That poop fountain made Golden Corral's Fountain Dew fountain look bad. Look wimpy.
The gravitational waves from that eruption were detected in distant galaxies far, far away.
It was a typhoon. A turdfoon. It was shitopia. It was rough. Let's just say that.
Goddamn shitstorm.
God damn it. I survived the shitstorm of 2018.
Hey, that's a new shirt. That's a new shirt idea.
Yes, it is actually.
Shitstorm of 2018. Shitapalooza? I don't know.
Shitapalooza, yeah. Shitstock.
Shitception.
Shitception. Turd stock. Here we go. Turd stock. Well, yeah, it was one turd. It was a cork. The turd, what it was a wall of shit blocking the ocean of shit behind it. So, yeah. And then I had to knuckle fuck myself to get it out. And what was crazy after when I pulled it out, I was holding the goddamn hard ass turd in my hand, like, oh fuck.
Well, you couldn't do nothing else but just sit there and let the shit come out. So
yeah, I couldn't just throw it in the toilet, because I was sitting there going.
You turned around, it sprayed all over the place.
Dude, it was the pressure washer, man. It was like, you ever seen a pressure washer? It's the way it was, dude. It took paint off the wall.
Get hold of this story and then twist it to say, this is what happens when you remove the wall from the water. It's just there's a flood of shit that comes into our country. We must stop the shit. It's like build the walls. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's what happened. But, it was painful. It was so goddamn painful. But afterwards, it was like a relief. I was happy to clean shit off of everything in the bathroom. It was in the sink, man. There was shit everywhere.
Is it like one of those garden hoses just goes psh, 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 and then it clicks back and does a second sort of around the end? Or was it just more like one of those ones that just comes out and it's like omnidirect, just goes fucking everywhere?
What it is like a hose that's been kinked off, and when you finally release the pressure,
it was literally like, you know how it was like, okay, here's my best thing. It was like when the river and Hurricane Katrina broke the wall barrier, whatever it's called. It went over. It just, yeah, that's what happened. And what is it?
A poop retaining wall.
A poop retaining wall was built, and when I took the poop retaining wall out, it flooded my bathroom.
The poop was no longer retained.
It was bad, dude. It was bad. It was everywhere, man. It was like I had to get down on my knees to clean it up out of the cracks of the goddamn floors. It was rough.
It was kind of like that South Park episode where Mr. Hanky just does the wizard thing and shit just fucking goes everywhere and everyone's covered in shit. It was exactly like that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was bad, dude. It was like I said, I popped the cork. And,
three square city blocks were covered in fecal matter.
Yeah, dude. And they shut down the city, man. The town was people walking around in shit suits.
They're actually going to abandon the town and move about 20 kilometers away, just like they do in in The Simpsons once in a while. They just abandon the fucking entire town and just go, it's not worth it. Let's just move.
Yeah. That's what I started to actually do, was like tell my parents it wasn't worth cleaning the bathroom. Let's go.
Let's move. House is contaminated.
We moved at night. We moved to Wisconsin.
and I thought I had everything clean, right? So a little bit later, I heard my mom yell, "You fucking missed the spot!"
You bastard.
Yeah, it was bad.
You're on poop squad, son.
One thing, lighting a match will help that.
Like KP, but not peeling potatoes, you're cleaning up the poop.
So I got a $25 tip from Faith. Thank you, baby. Corky. I hope your legs get better. I am glad to actually catch the show. Well, thank you so much.
Someone needs to send in one that says rebuild the wall.
Rebuild the wall. And I now can read. It's time to start reading the fuck. Because like I said, I'm in it early, so we'll give the last 15 minutes we'll read and talk to the chat. Let me sign into Streamlabs, which I have to give a urine sample, blood sample, all this good shit.
And a semen sample.
Semen's shit sample.
I've actually got half an idea of like this crazy ambition, because I've heard of this thing called Patreon, which is a invite only thing. If you get kicked off Patreon because they don't like what you're doing, you may get an invite to this fucking service called Patreon, and it's basically the same thing. And so I might start doing shit on my channel so I could start getting super chats and raise the whole thing, and then start a Patreon and do really offensive shit and get kicked off Patreon so I can get an invite to Patreon, because I want a Patreon t-shirt. I really want one. I don't know if they exist, but I want a Patreon shirt so badly.
Hey, this Bill Portley, you're crazy as hell, dog. He said a $5 tip, but he says, I hope this tied you over for the month.
It will if he lived in, I don't know, Botswana.
In his car, maybe?
I mean,
maybe if I lived in Ethiopia.
What's the currency used in Botswana, and what's the exchange rate these days for the greenback?
Hell, I don't know.
Who gives a shit? That's the correct.
But now, chat room, we are going to pay a little attention to you and take tips and whatever. We got 15 minutes, so if you got questions, please ask your questions. If you don't have questions, well, don't do nothing. Just sit there.
Get out.
I'll sit here in silence.
Remember to tip, because tipping is good. Remember to buy me a gift off my wish list because it's the 28 days of Pimpmunk. Do that, and I will become Jesus.
Yes. I'll say something like, comply with Pimp's wishes now. Mindless drones, comply.
Yes. And today I'm enjoying a delicious beverage of the Coca-Cola Zero.
Oh, goodness me.
It's
delicious.
Is that the good stuff or the crap stuff?
It's the good stuff, man.
So did they bring it back, did they?
Coca. They never did cancel it.
Oh, I thought they got rid of it for a different
Oh, well, they call it's Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. That's what it's called now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I still call it Coca-Cola Zero.
You gotta swirl it around, let it air.
Yeah, it's like.
Delicious.
You can't just simply chug it. You got to sip and taste.
Yeah.
You got to aerate it while it's in your throat.
You got to gargle it.
No, that's not go. You're aerating the delicious beverage to release the delicious flavors and bouquet.
Yeah, you're opening up the cells of taste.
You're exciting the molecules contained within the beverage and releasing extra flavor molecules.
That's the same thing you should do, ladies and gay guys, with sperm.
Yeah, why the fuck not? Yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's a scientific recommendation from Kurt Knoll.
It's called jizz gargling. Are you okay? Am I okay? I don't know. I don't know what you're referring to. If you're referring to mentally okay, hell no.
Does our moral compass point true north, or which way is north in this crazy universe? I don't know. Are you okay? I'm not okay. Who's okay?
I think she means by legs and stuff. We're getting there. We're letting them heal. I'm letting them heal. It's gonna take a while. Why it's already been like way over a month and they still haven't healed. So, but we're getting there. We're doing a thing. Not going on trips and stuff for a while to let that happen, and just have to keep them up and take care of them.
Well, we can just cut them off now and give you cyborg legs and call you Robo Pimp.
Yeah. I'll tell you, dude. There's a show on Netflix called Paradise PD.
Fucking
love it. Love it. And they got a hobo cop. They call them hobo cops. What's the name?
Hobo cop. Turn on the siren.
Yeah, stick this finger up the cat's ass.
I turn people on to that show by showing them that one clip.
That's so funny.
Oh, the scene that just got me is when the kid bursts into the bedroom and he's like, Mum and Dad having sex, and he's pretending to get there. He just shoots his dad in the nuts. Not once, but he shoots both the nuts.
Yeah, shot both his balls off. That's so fucking funny. I also like that Disenchanted show. That was good. Now that other one, I don't care for too much.
Big Mouth, I didn't get into that. But,
yeah, I could.
What's the other space one? With the little fucking green ball. It goes, chookity.
I don't know.
Oh, fuck, that's fucking awesome. Is it Final Space? What's it called? And I'll go to the Netflix page and have a look. It's got this fucking little green blob, right? It's like this little smiling, happy little green blob that makes friends with this dude. But it turns out it's the most dangerous fucking thing in the universe, and it's got the capacity to actually destroy the entire universe if you piss it off, basically. And who's it made by? I forget. Fucking give us a sec. I'll go jump on Netflix and get the name of it. But it's funny as fucking this little green blob. All it says is chookity. Yeah, it's fucking great. Where is this fucker? Give me a sec. Talk amongst yourselves until I work out what I'm trying to say.
Somebody bought me a lava lamp on my wish list the other day.
Dude, lava lamps are still fucking awesome.
Yes, they are. They're very awesome.
Fuck yeah. And it is called Final Space, and it's on Netflix in Australia at the moment, and it's fucking awesome. It's about Gary, who's basically serving out a sentence for being a naughty little fucking space soldier, and then just the hilarity ensues, and it's actually a really fucking good show. With there's a bit of violence. You see some aliens get their heads blown off and shit. It's pretty cool.
Yes.
That's always cool. That is when there's violence, I'm happy.
Yeah, so I definitely recommend Final Space if you like animation.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is that Happy. If you haven't watched that yet, boss, you need.
I haven't seen it on. I can't find it.
I don't think it's on like sci-fi, isn't it?
It's that show blew my. The first 5 minutes, I was just watching it, and I'm just like, nearly in shock at what I'm watching. But the show's brilliant. It goes from hilariously light and funny with this animated fucking character to basically delving into the pits of fucking kitty. It's it. I won't spoil too much. I don't want to say too much YouTube censorship.
Yeah.
But holy fuck, it gets real fucking dark, and it does everything in between, and it's so well written, and the casting, everything's done
nicely.
Yeah, but it's incredibly fucking dark. If you're easily disturbed, you might want to watch a trailer and see if it's something that you'd consider watching. But yeah, trigger warning. Ooh, some really dark shit, but hilariously funny at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, there you go. There's some of your reference, and I definitely refer you to watch Paradise PD if you haven't. It's pretty funny. And yeah, somebody said they mentioned Brickleberry. Yeah, the same people who did Brickleberry did Paradise PD, and they do make a reference to Brickleberry in the show. Or
When, that one guy was
the black guy was in the hospital, and he was like, "That's a totally different show, totally different." Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's just a fun show to watch. I laughed my ass off at it. I really did. That's probably my favorite scene. That was the whole siren thing. Turn on the siren, Hobo cop stuck his finger up the ass of the cat.
Oh shit! There's so many good things done in that cartoon. Like when the dad runs out of his fucking hormone therapy tabs and just throws a massive rack. It's just like, Jesus Christ. And then when he wants to fucking basically Hulk out, he just covers himself in
testosterone patches. Yeah. But that is funny. It's hilarious. It really is. It's just crazy. And the rednecks in this show, I love those redneck meth heads. They're fucking. Yeah. I like that one toss real slow, like.
I salute the people that wrote it and had the balls to make it, because in this day and age, in the current environment politically, it's like that's
exactly
that could have got you in a fucking lot of trouble and ostracized from fucking working in that industry for a very fucking long time.
Yeah, because Hollywood is so fucking PC now. I started watching this show called Neighborhood on Prime last night on the CBS on Prime, and I was gonna watch it. I hadn't watched a sitcom in a long time, so I thought, hell, I'll just watch some of this. And it's about a white guy who moves into a black neighborhood, and he comes over and he says, "Well, the wife said, well, isn't that racist?" He said, "Wait a minute, black people can't be racist. We can be racial, not racist." I'm like, there you go. I turned it off.
Isn't that nice? They still reject reality and substitute it with their own fucked up, shattered version of it.
Yeah. Apparently, they never heard of Hebrew Israelites.
Oh, that's racial. That's not racist.
They really need to have a look at what just happened recently in the South African Parliament. And there's a lovely mob down there called the BLF. And you don't think black people can be racist? Well, you're just fucking wrong. And this party was actually ejected by a party that, well, they dress up in red fucking military style gear and run around and dress like that. And this party and the ANC banded together to eject these actual fucking hardcore black supremacists. So that thing that blacks can't be, or bullshit. Anyone?
That's racial. That's not racist.
Nah, my bad. I'm so lusciously sorry.
Yeah, but you know, something like that ruins it for me. Like, as soon as they did that, I'm like, yeah, turn it off.
Please stop doing that. That's just, I can't. You face palm when you hear someone say that's like, those people can't be racist. That's or the other one. That's reverse racism. No, it's just fucking racism. You fucking retarded piece.
Yeah, I don't ever like to use that term, reverse racism. Racism is racism.
Exactly. Please don't.
It's like, well, that's a hate crime. What?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure most murders motivated by some sort of malice, or a big percentage of them, or you know, people beating up someone. It's because it's usually, it's not because they
hate when it's a minority.
Exactly. You're the wrong color when you beat someone, and they're the right color. It's like you're going to get extra fucked in the ass for that one. And I understand why they did it.
Yeah, I do too.
And eventually, I hope America can revisit that and just go, hey, listen, a crime's a crime, and we're not going to give people extra jail time because their skin's one color and the victim's another color.
Exactly.
That'd be nice to get rid of. I hope we elevate ourselves to move past this shit one day, and I'll now shut the fuck up.
I got a $15 tip from Bird Flu. It says it's been a minute. Since the tip, I guess is what he's talking about. Yeah, thank you, Bird Flu. I appreciate it, buddy.
It's only been 1 minute.
It's only been 1 minute. So yeah, that's awesome. Got a couple of tips this morning. That's good. We're gonna be ending in 3 minutes. So Red Eye, do you want to, talk about how much you're in love with Trump?
Yeah, there's actually a good question in chat about, do you think the political correctness can only have one definition, or does the concept change depends on the prevailing political model? The way I understand it is political correctness means that you don't offend people or say things that may be considered offensive, and you try, it's how do I sum it up really basically? Self-censoring yourself so you don't hurt anybody's fees from either side of the fucking fence. It doesn't really matter if they're left or right, because I can say some shit that can upset people from the conservatives quite easily as well. And people from the left should start just trolling people from the right and vice versa, and let's all have a bit of fun on the internet again.
Well, here's my idea about political correctness. How can you be correct when you don't know what to do because it changes so much, right? And there's so many, one day you can say if, and the next day if is fucking racist or homophobic or something. And I just used the word if as a fucking example. I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy when you got people out there saying that you can thought rape somebody or fart rape them, or you're racist because you have an opinion. And it's really bad when it's just weird. It's weird that we're all put into a point now to where you cannot even express yourself without being called some kind of hate person.
Yeah. Now, let's hypothetical. Let's just say in 100 years from now, worst case scenario, the right sweep through the world and ethno-states start popping up. There's black ones, white ones, yellow ones, red ones, pink ones, fucking neon green ones, whatever the fuck. And that real extremist fucking nationalist shit becomes the norm. There could be potentially a time when people look at political correctness where that, if to be politically incorrect would be talking about swinging the pendulum back to the center and talking about equality and racial equality and harmony and all of that shit. That could be seen if the world's was predominantly hardcore nationalistic and like this is a worst case scenario. There could be a time in the future where talking about equality could be considered politically incorrect. It just depends on, you're kind of right, what the prevailing winds are. And for the last 50 years, it's been democracy and let's try and worry about people's fees. And it's just going a bit over the top now. Where free speech shuts down free speech. It's like, come on, Berkeley, you're doing it wrong. And I'll shut up now.
And before we go, I just want to say, without people hurting someone's feelings, a lot of great things would not have happened. Seriously, you don't think that the KKK had their feelings hurt when people spoke out against fucking racism?
Yeah.
I mean, shit happens, but you got to take a chance. You got to say things. You got to be able to express yourself, right? If you can't express yourself, then great things. Let's think about, if George Carlin wasn't able to express himself, we wouldn't have got the great comedy and the great mind that he was. Same thing with people like Landon or fucking, all the geniuses, Tyson, all those people. If they couldn't express themselves, they wouldn't have been. So we need to watch how fucking sensitive we are. We're going to stop some great things happening. Anyways, I'm about to express myself with the stop broadcast button. And I thank each and every one of you for watching. I thank Frank and I thank Red Eye for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, you're both gay and ugly, and
both are true.
Yeah. Anyway, but we'll give Frank credit on one thing. He married a Latin woman.
Yeah.
Sassy. They are sassy.
Yeah, dude, you have no idea. You pissed the sister off, you pissed the mama off. The whole fucking family hates you at that point.
little bit of sass, little bit of spice maybe as well.
Yeah. I mean, I seen that you throw that cabbie hat axe thing. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Anyways, guys, thanks. See you later. Catch you tomorrow. And remember, keep your wood up.